Okay, hello students, and welcome to the lesson. Today we're looking at working with decimals, and we really want to think about rates because it's quite interesting in terms of how we get paid. So you might be starting up your first part-time job, or you're starting to look at spending money and getting the most bang for your buck, so getting the best value. So rates are an excellent tool to help you work out how to make your money go further. And to do that, we do need to get a good handle on what decimals are. So when we look at decimals that contain two spaces, we use that to represent money value. Obviously, after the decimal space, there are two spaces and they're worth the cents. Now, the rules for operations with decimals are also applied to calculations involving money. And a rate compares two quantities that are of a different kind. So remember, ratios are quantities of the same kind. Now, for a rate to be in simplest form, the second of the two quantities being compared must have the value of 1. So when you hear of something, say, per hour, if I'm going 30 kilometres per hour, that means per 1 hour, for example. So in 2 hours, I've gone 60 kilometres. Now, let's have a look here. When we want to do two worked examples, then I'll get you to take some notes. So we want to write a rate statement with the appropriate unit. So for example, $32.50 in each hour. What we're really saying is $32 per hour, and that's divided by an hour. So what we're going to do is express our $32.50, and that's going to be at the front. So we're just going to write $32.50. Now, we could say per 1 hour, but we tend to drop that 1 because it's not needed. Remember, anything divided by 1 is itself. So we just say $32 per hour. So if we have a look here, in each hour, it's the same as saying divided by, and that's also the same as saying that forward slash, and that's also the same as saying per. The next one is to just simplify a rate statement. So this time we're saying write the statement in the simplest form, $196.65 in 9 hours work. So this time we're saying $196.65 in 9 hours. So we can do this again, 196.65, there's our decimals. Now I can say divided by 9 hours. Now, first thing I'll get you to notice is that we'll have a certain number. Then I want you to look at these units. And so we'll put these units, the dollars and the hours, after. And so the way we do this is, here's our number that we're going to work out in a minute, but it will be so many dollars per hour. In this case, it'll be expressed there. But sometimes we might also go, say, kilometres per hour. And you'll notice that we'll put that kilometres just in front of that forward slash or that per sign. So let's get back onto the idea we're talking about. 196.65 divided by 9 hours. So all I will do is go 196.65 divided by 9, and that's 21.85 per hour. So I just write 21.85 per hour. Now, the notes that I would like you to copy, first of all, just to get your head around the decimal operations, particularly with division and multiplication. So remember, it's pretty obvious that 12 divided by 3 is 4. But if I were going to say 12 divided by 0.3, that's going to equal 40. So you just need to consider where the decimal places are going. So in the placeholder 0, so you can see that if this is 10 times less, the answer is going to be 10 times more. Now, if this one is 10 times less than this one, you can see that the answer is going to be 10 times less. So when you perform an operation with the decimal, you perform it without the decimal and then just count the decimals up. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. So 1.2 divided by 3 is 0.4. So I can see one decimal place. So I'm just putting one decimal in the answer. Let's have a look at multiplication. Now 4 times 2 is 8. Now times 0.2 has got to be 0.8. So I've performed the correct operation without the decimal. Then I count the decimals and add that in. Now, if I have something with 2 decimals, I'm going to have to add 2 decimal places. So 0.4 times 0.2, well, I've got to count 2 decimal places, and you can see 1 and 2 decimal places to get 0.8. Now, I will get you to copy these bits of notes into your book. Now, rate statements compare quantities of different kinds. For example, wages, which is an hourly thing, so that's typically what tradesmen receive. And you get an hourly wage, and you'll often get overtime, and we'll talk about that soon. A salary is what professionals receive, those people who have gone to university generally. You'll get an annual salary, and it's broken up into a fortnightly wage. And we can also talk about speed, for example, kilometres per hour. That's a rate, and you'll talk more about that in science. Now, penalty rates are awarded to those working overtime, so it's generally to the wages, and that can be, for example, time and a half. Whoops. So that's time and a half there, which is 1.5 times the normal hourly rate, or double time, which is double the hourly rate. Now, income tax is tax paid to the government, and that's paid on different income levels. And the last one we'll do is just a calculation. So calculate the hourly wage of someone who earned $365 for 8 hours work. So all we do is say 365 divided by 8, well, it will be 45.63, and then we just need to consider where the symbols go. In this case, we put the $sign in front of the 45.63 and then the hour after that sign, I should say. When you've done that, please work on the mastery exercises and then rate your learning for today.